Hey, the Squeedo coming at you with a tactics talk. I've loaded in here to Redshire. I'm in my Tier 9 Swedish Emil 2 heavy tank. It's a Tier 10 battle. As you can see, the lineups are fairly even. XVM showing us a 43% chance to win. It is an encounter mode, so I'm headed over here to the east side of the map. And we're going to call this one Push Reloaders. We're going to call it Push Reloaders, because what's going to happen here is I'm going to have a pretty monster game, and it is all going to be because of one enemy tank who fails to push me while I reload. So this is an auto loader. It's got 4 shots, has a long time between clips when it reloads, and it is very vulnerable when that happens. But you're going to find out that during this there are plenty of examples where I could have been pushed. Additionally, we're going to talk about something that was asked on the forums for a video to be made about pulling enemy tanks into the fire of things like TDs or people behind you. This map is a pretty good example of that. I'll show you a little bit of that as we go from both our side and their side. On this map, Redshire, is my opinion that the east side is the critical, initially anyway, place to fight, and it needs to be one. Critical piece of terrain is right here. You're going to find campers coming up onto, or snipers, depending on which one you want to call them, up onto these hills, as I've mentioned before. There are cross shots into these general areas over here if you get too far to the north or too far to the south. Additionally, there's usually a skirmish over at this castle. Because it's encounter, you tend to have more tanks grouped over here than on the normal mode. However, my contention is that this needs to be won first before any of these two spots become really important. You'll see what happens as we go. Show what I'm doing with my camera. I'm going to come around this corner. One of the things you've got to watch for on this map, especially if there's already, is that right there. There's a scout coming up, trying to see how many guys we've got coming this way. I'll just stop and back up. It used to be I'd just blitz right through there and not worry about getting spotted, but I've been hit enough by Artie here and potentially the guys on their sniper hill down here that if I can avoid being spotted, I will do so. You can see their AMX-50B is not in the critical terrain. He's decided to go onto their sniping spot. Now that sniping spot can be good if your team wins where I'm going, or at least mauls the enemy enough that you can then snipe them down as they come across the open area over there. But you'll find out that that doesn't really happen here. So they've got a low, a VK, and we've come up here with a T110E5, myself, an IS-3, and there is a 704 back there behind us. And we're going to get in here and start working on these guys, get the mouths coming in. Bad trade on my part. No reason really for me to sit there and try to shoot the mouths. Even with my heat, I was having trouble getting targeted on that guy, so it was just kind of a dumb move. And now I'm on the outside of the echelon of the 110E5, which puts me vulnerable to artillery. So I decide to change what I'm doing. I'll let the 110E5 and his good armor work on that. He ends up getting pinned either on the lower plate or potentially got his road wheel out there a little too far. I'm going to come around and look to get up above. I'm trying to take shots in this low. Unfortunately, I go right there, and you can see even with the depression on this Swedish tank, I don't quite have it, the depression that I need. And if I had gone a little further forward towards the rock, you can see it's a lower angle. And then the low comes at me. I'm going to make a series of bad trades here. The artillery is actually going to track him and help me out here, so I'm able with the autoloader to put a few shots into that lower plate there. Now I'm reloading, so I've got to back up. Let's talk a little bit then about dragging tanks into where you are. If you can turn around here and we'll look at the object 704 is sitting back up on that back edge. Not a great place with artillery in the game. Also not a great place because the guys over there, you can see that WT Panzer IV can actually hit that spot. But he is going to be useful for the time that he is alive to make that Maus consider coming around that corner and taking me out, which is exactly what he wants to do right now. But he's going to end up seeing some other tanks back there, and that's going to stop him. Plus, he is now vulnerable to artillery on that side of the rocks. Smack. There you go. And I'm getting to reload. So they've got 1, 2, 3 tanks. There's a Ferdinand up top, and they haven't pushed me, so I've been allowed to reload, and I probably shouldn't survive that. But fair enough, they didn't quite have what they needed. So I'll come around here, take out the low. Now I've only got 2 shots, so that VK should have counted that 2 shots. You should have said, that Emil has shot twice. You can only possibly shoot twice more. There's one. There's the other. He's tracked me. But I know that the Emil's got at least 30 seconds of reload. There goes my S3. And that's an example of pulling tanks around the corner. They were able to snipe him. But if that VK would have just pushed me, it's over. I'm done. I don't get to play anymore. Look at it. They've got 1, 2, 3 tanks over here. JT, Ferdinand, VK. My 704 buddy's gone. So I am an easy kill right now. JT's there. And now they've allowed me to reload. So had that VK pushed around the corner, I'd be gone. And this game more than likely would have been completely different. The skirmish is going on over at the cap, as per usual. Like I said, there's usually a few more tanks over there, but I now, a single tank, have 4 of theirs tied up. Correction, 3 of theirs tied up. Okay, Ferdinand comes up. Think about driving up and trying to get a view with a casemate TD is... It isn't easy to drive and then go into sniper mode real quick and get your bearings. So I just came around as fast as possible. I knew I had to take a chance. I was outnumbered. I had to get rid of that guy. Even if I took a hit, I needed to get rid of that guy. Otherwise, I was going to get sandwiched. Meanwhile, as I turned around and fought the Ferdinand, the VK didn't even bother to try to come around and get a shot on me, which he easily could have done. My turret was completely turned around, dealing with the Ferdinand. And he's just going to sit there. So I'm looking for the JT. I'm assuming he's there somewhere. My worry is he's going to come around to my right side. So I need to find out where this guy is. There he is. Found him. I'm going to try to bait a shot. Here we go. Track. 2 into his lower hole. 1. 2. Alright, VK. And the Artie helps me out. Alright, VK, that's it. Go get him. Alright, what I'm doing there is acting like I still have a shell. Seeing if I can get him to come at me. Oh, here he comes. He's finally decided. He realizes, oh, he doesn't have a shell. He didn't shoot me. I got a shot on him. He should have kept coming. Absolutely had me once again, so he's going to allow me to reload. Push reloaders. Don't let them reload. There goes my LTTB friend. Thought, alright, we got this doped now. Oh darn, there's an Artie right there. Puts a shot into him. Now I can't go around because I'm a one shot, so I've got to take the shot I can get. I'll go ahead and get him. Now here comes their Artie. I'm backing up. Obviously I've got to deal with the Artie. Here comes the VK, but he doesn't keep coming. My turret is completely turned around. If he'd have just charged around the corner, I'm done. Another opportunity wasted. And now I'm going to try to bait a shot right here so I can come around on his reload. Now this is a skill I'm not excellent at. I know some players that are amazing. I will make it happen here. I'm just trying to get enough out there to make him take a shot and miss or bounce. I'm just going to come around on him. He needs to be putting his front armor to me. It looks like he just gave up. And now we are pushing on. So there's a pretty good example of when a guy is on a reload, any tank really, with a longish reload, and especially an auto loader who has just fired all his shots, or if you've got enough hit points to take one of his hits and come around and take him out, you've got to take that opportunity. This game completely turned on what I did over on that side, and it wasn't necessarily because of pure skill on my part. It was a single tank who refused to come around, take a hit, and finish me off. Otherwise, more than likely, the other team would have had a much better time because 3 or 4 of those tanks would have survived once I was gone, and they'd have moved over towards the west and helped their guys over in the cap with side shots on our guys coming in from the north. Alright, well, I hope this helps and illustrates some things for you. Remember, push the reloaders. See ya.